to another episode of Strategic Minds Making Money Moves, where we take those strategies to get that green. I am so excited that you have decided to join us today, because I tell you, by the end of this, you're going to be going to get a fork, a knife, a plate, and look for some food, because you're going to be mighty, mighty hungry. Today, we have the awesome pleasure of having Chef Kitura as our guest today. I am looking forward to hearing all about what she does and let her explain to you about her business. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I love that introduction because you said I get an opportunity to say all about my business. And as she stated, I am the one and only Chef Couture with all about the minis.
All right, well, tell us all about the minis.
Well, my business is all about the minis, where we offer bite-sized flavor on the go. So I kind of developed this niche for tapas, small bites, full of flavor. So I have your salmon sliders, your Philly cheesesteak sliders, your chicken and waffle minis. We're not going to talk about those mac and cheese muffins, and some shrimp and grit shooters, just to name a few.
Oh, now wait a minute. Now, you are making me hungry now. I'm ready to go get that plate and see that food. Okay.
Yes.
So how long have you been in business?
So I've been catering for about 16 years. However, due to the pandemic and COVID, it's one of those things where I had to pull the trigger, left corporate. And I said, I will no longer allow my life to be in someone else's hands. So I stepped out on faith, and All About the Minis will be 2 years old this year.
That is wonderful. Now, to be able to say you did this during the pandemic is huge, because it's truly about planning and taking a risk. And the number of people that are always looking for delivery during that time period, or looking for ways to get food. And I know it's been a challenge.
It is.
And I know that, some of the challenges here that we all have experienced in one way or another is when it comes to supply chain, right?
Yes.
And so I'm sure you could write a book.
I did.
All right, tell me more. Tell me
Actually,
more.
I did. I just finished a book. It wasn't about supply chain, but the book is called Grandma's Hands. A lot of people ask, where did your love for cooking come from? And my grandmother. So, and when I talk to other culinary artists, that's kind of like a going thing. It's either my grandmother or my mother. So I said, you know what? We're going to put this in writing. So it's a short story, love story about my life with my grandmother and coming up with both my grandmother and my mother and myself. So it's a short story and a recipe book.
Awesome. Now that's fantastic. See, I didn't even know she wrote a book. That's great. And I'm sure that all of that love comes through in the food that you fix as you move forward. But what I was going to go to is, I know you could write a book about what's happening with the food costs.
Yes.
And I know that food costs are just crazy right now. And with food costs being crazy, it also means that as a business owner, you are stuck between, I have to pay so much money for food, but I need to sell it for a bit to at least make 50 cents so I can feed myself.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How did you get through some of those times?
Well, it's still a challenge.
Okay.
But it's one of those things to where, and I kind of go back to the old saying, people do what they want to do. So first of all, I consider what I do, it's part of the love language. Everybody has to eat. And why not be able to provide good food so that the demand is there for it? And then, if they have to pay a little bit more, they don't mind doing it if the food tastes good, the quality, and the customer service is there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to talk a little bit today about how to expand that.
Yes.
Because I really believe that where this starts, anytime we start talking about things that we have no control over, right? And that you're buying food from other places and you need it as your raw ingredients to make this wonderful tasting, tapas that you're offering. So how do we first reduce our cost? And I think that first thing in reducing your cost is take out the middleman. Try to go to the suppliers themselves directly. And the other thing is when you do that, you said you know other culinary artists,
Yes.
right? Well, all of you may need butter. All of you may need salt. All of you may need, there's certain quality things that are in your ingredients
Yes.
that a number of you will use. Why not go in together to make a larger order to get a bigger discount going to that supplier directly as opposed to having a middleman in the
That's
middle?
an awesome idea.
Because what you'll do is you cut out the middleman's profit that they have to make. At the same time, you're buying in bulk, right?
Right.
So you're helping the person that is supplying, but you as entrepreneurs are helping each other with the cost of that
That's
food.
an excellent idea.
You
Thank
know,
you.
in terms of doing that. So I think a lot of it begins with our cost and
Yes.
how do we go about making that happen. I also believe that you have a very unique opportunity.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm here for it.
That unique opportunity is you have a niche. There's someone else that offers an entree. If y'all come together and you offer me the appetizers and they offer me the entree, we got a whole meal.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can go get another entrepreneur that offers desserts. Now we got a 3-course meal. We've helped 3 businesses and we've been able to move forward.
One-stop shop.
One-stop shop. And so I think the more we can share that way, the more we're building power of influence. And influence and having that power of letting people know I'm coming back is important.
Very much so.
You know, and it lets them know how valuable you really are. We're going to take a station break, and when we come back, we're going to explore that just a little bit further.
A little bit more.
Just a little bit more. We'll be right back.
Strategic Minds, Making Money Moves with Vicki Wright Hamilton focuses on helping entrepreneurs to overcome their business challenges to help increase their bottom line. Each episode provides strategies for growth and transformation. Watch Vicki share her 20-plus years of experience as a corporate executive to help entrepreneurs level up.
Welcome back. Are you hungry yet? I know I am. I'm ready for some salmon sliders, and I'm ready for that shrimp and grit slider, and I'm ready to eat. I don't know about you, but you're making me mighty, mighty hungry, you know. And as you said, it's all about that. But, you know, one of the other things that I think that you can do when you're actually selling to individuals, you know, we all know that value comes by the word of mouth.
Correct.
Word of mouth comes from the taste. Oh my God, it's a die for. Just gotta have it. Just gotta have it. But those people who do that for you, do you have a rewards program for them?
I don't. However, I just had this conversation 2 days ago. Someone said, you know, develop some type of rewards program, and I'm like, why did I not think of that?
But that rewards program can also be for referrals.
Yes.
Right? So you might say, you know, I'm looking for a business in this area. If you refer me to this, you know, I'll give you X percentage when you do yours, or we can talk about what that referral fee looks like. Or I just think that those kinds of programs are incentives. Everybody's trying to get more for their money. I mean, think about it. When we fly, we want the freaking flyer miles.
Yep.
When we get the freaking flyer miles, we're trying to get to that free trip. So I think that the more that you can build so that the end user feels like I can also gain from doing this would also be important as you're continuing to move forward. And I will also say, if I go out to your website today, and you tell me, but if I go out to your website today and I say that I want to order food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have where I can order what I want, how much I want, the kinds I want, or do I have to make a phone call? How does that process work?
Both. There are certain items that are my staple minis, and you can definitely order those. But because I offer full service catering, not just the tapas style, then there's a book, or you know, you'll complete the form for additional information, and then on that form, you would enter in, how many guests you're expecting, what your budget is, what type of event it is. So I offer a combination of both.
So is your full menu on your website?
My full menu is not on my website.
Okay, got to fix that. Because if I say to someone, I want to recommend you, here's her website, I want them to know I can go and see what my taste buds are already asking for. Not only do I see those staples you have, but I see this full catering menu. I'm like, I want some of that, some of that, some of that, some of that, in terms of doing it. The other thing is it always makes it nice when you do those things around graduation.
Yes.
Throughout the summer for weddings. There's so many weddings coming up, which brings me to my next thing. Are you in partnerships with any bridal showers that you have information so when the bride comes in, the bride can gather your information in terms of, oh, here's a full catering service that's available to you?
No, I do not.
Okay, so we need to think about bridal places. We need to think about, and this may sound crazy, but baby boutiques. People are always having, whether they're doing some kind of party for their child. I tell you, my daughter-in-law, I don't think my grandkids know what it means not to have a party. They have one every year for everything. And they ordering food and food and food.
Especially now, they're doing it so much large, the grand scheme of things, the grand scale with the gender reveals.
Right. It's the gender reveals. It's the birthday parties. It's the I mean they pick any event. Oh, we're going to the pumpkin patch and we're going to invite the kids over, for Halloween.
Right.
And a lot of that is because we're trying to keep things close to home. There's still some of the apprehension about being away from home and what that looks like. So people are doing more and more of that at home. I can't tell you the number of backyard parties I've been invited to, and I'm like, And I was telling my husband, I said, well, we can have a party if you want to, but I'm not cooking. So I want to call Chef Kitura. Can you come handle this for me? Because we're so busy. There's so much going on, and there's something to be said for convenience.
Yes.
Right. So I do think that getting around with kids' establishments, maternity stores, they get ready to have babies, so people get ready to have, their parties for the moms. They're doing the birth reveal party. I mean, they have a party for everything, okay? I'm going to have a party to tell you that I'm pregnant. I'm going to have a party to tell you what the reveal is. I'm going to have a party to tell you that the baby was born.
Right.
And we're going to have a party at a party because the baby's here.
Right.
So
Right.
It just goes on and on and on. The other thing I will tell you is if you begin to partner with bakeries and places like that, where you're saying, look, I know you are specializing, your niche is dessert. My niche is tapas. I would love to partner with you because there's a lot of opportunity for small plates and a dessert.
Yes.
Right. And so, I'm saying that it doesn't have to be instead of yours. Sometimes it can be in addition to. Somebody might specialize in cheesecake. Right. And you have other desserts that you're offering. But I think the more that we share that, the better. The other thing is that opportunities for taste. So do you have moments where people can come taste your food? Are you in any pop stand, or have you talked to any locations where you could just set up and have taste, or what does that look like?
Actually, yes. So there are 2 coffee shops where they offer kind of like pastries. And I've talked to them about doing pop-ups, like on a Sunday brunch type of thing. I do have a couple of pastry chefs where I collaborate with them. I'm like, hey, if someone comes to you about your desserts, let's kind of collaborate. So I am in the process of working with other chefs, culinary artists, bakeries, and coffee shops, trying to slide
that on in there. Well, the reason I say that is because when you get on your site, you can say, I do holistic services. Right? I can do from soup to nuts because I'm offering from here to here.
Yes.
We're going to take a station break. When we come back, we'll talk about that a little bit further.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll be right back.
Strategic Minds, Making Money Moves with Vicki Wright Hamilton focuses on helping entrepreneurs to overcome their business challenges to help increase their bottom line. Each episode provides strategies for growth and transformation. Watch Vicki share her 20-plus years of experience as a corporate executive to help entrepreneurs level up.
Welcome back. So, we were talking about being able to offer whole services.
Yes.
And, one of the things, and I know it's a strategy, but one of the things small businesses do, because sometimes it's hard for people to just come and get a niche or just do one thing. So they have the people that they partner with, and it allows them to say, well, we do a holistic service. We offer from, appetizers all the way through desserts. We even do specialty drinks, right? Kind of deal. So you have somebody who does each one of these. These are great agreements to get into that can build long-term relationships,
Yes.
but also can help you as you're continuing to move forward so that your product is out there. I'm glad to see that you're doing pop-ups and things like that. Now I have another one that's really, really outside the box, and people might say, oh, that sounds crazy. But high schools, they have proms, right? And the people who spread the word the most about good food are kids. If a child likes something, they go home and say, Mama, I had this and it was good. Or Mama, I did so-and-so, that was great. And they are the biggest influence in the household. Get to a child, boy, you can bet that mama gonna spend a dime to make something happen because their child enjoyed it.
Yes.
And it makes them happy.
Yes.
So think about getting with PTAs.
So, funny you should say that. I was a PTA co-president over at McEachern High School prior to my son graduating 2 years ago. So how come I didn't think about that? I don't know. But I am a very big advocate of partnering with educators in schools. So my son was at Lindley Middle School, and I did a teacher appreciation for them his last year there. And every year I cater for their 8th grade dance. So this year I will be catering their 8th grade dance, and I'm just building that relationship with them.
That's awesome, because if you can get an educational vertical, it's not just, you can go to every school, right?
Yes.
So you want to get yourself out there, get inside of the networks where
Yes.
it's all of, whether it's Fulton County, Cobb County, even if it's internet, if it's somewhere else, right?
Right.
In other locations. And that's the last thing that I want to talk about before we see if we have a question from our audience.
Awesome.
And that is that don't limit yourself to local. Think about opening up your own franchises worldwide. Because the thing is that people think, I'm so small, I can't expand. Yes, you can. Train interns, train other people who are in culinary that want to learn more. Show them how to do it. Allow them, once they've been trained enough, to open up a spot in another city, in another country, in another place. Because after all, we are global.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And everybody likes good food.
Yes.
Right?
It's that love language,
That's it. It is. Everybody wants to taste that good food, and it is a love language. Let's see if we have a question or a comment from the audience.
Hi, my name is Kwavi, and I'm the owner of a online community called Flourish for women 50 and over. I have a question for you. So you mentioned different sliders. They all sound very exciting. However, I'd like to know if you have any that for people who have dietary restrictions. And if you do, what are they?
Excellent question. I do have veggie sliders as well, and I'm glad that you asked that question. My father has dietary restrictions, so it's important to me as I'm seasoning my food items. I like to use a lot of natural herbs. From your thyme and rosemary. Everything does not have to be salt. Speaking of salt, that's why I'm also working on my own seasoning line that is no sodium, low sodium, and to bring out those flavors like your citrus, things of that nature. So, and I do partner with other culinary chefs that are more versed with farm to table. So I'm working with them as well. So that I am continuously educating myself on healthy eating for those clients that have dietary restrictions. Thank you.
That's awesome because as we have more and more vegan, we have more and more plant-based, giving them options too. Is great. And then when you're ordering from catering, I can order for the meat lover, I can order for the plant lover, I can order for the for the dietary restrictions from
Correct.
salt,
Correct.
etc.
Correct.
And it allows you to have a plethora of options
Not
as you
the
move forward.
plethora. All right now.
Yeah, plethora of options, honey. We want options from every kind, every way, right?
Yes.
So we can continue to get that business to flow.
Absolutely.
And I say the same thing when you're dealing with desserts. Nothing makes it worse than I can't have sugar and there's a cheesecake there and I can't eat it. And I love cheesecake, right? Or I can't have, I can't have, I'm not supposed to eat a lot of butter or a lot of whatever. As you begin to see these foods, it's like, y'all just left me out. You just let,
What about
and I think,
me?
exactly. So filling all of those taste buds in terms of making it happen works. And I love the fact that you went to coffee shops.
Yes.
And also teas and coffees and all of that. Because I think there's so much of an opportunity to get that small plate while I'm having that cup of coffee. And, there's some people who drink coffee throughout the day, decaf and calf or whatever. And they have different treats, but to be able to have this with it is great. So you'll have to always let us know on that website.
Yes.
On that website, who you
Yes.
partnering with and where we can go get that.
Absolutely.
So we can definitely get that full meal.
Yes,
As we turn to
absolutely.
move
Yes.
forward. So I'm looking forward to those website updates.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing videos of your food so that people can actually visualize it, throughout all of your social media. Using all platforms,
Yes.
right? And I know that you do some platforms today, but it's really important that we can see it. You can actually add those to your website too.
Yeah,
right?
and it's one of the things, I've gotten to the place where I know I can't do everything myself. I kind of had to fire myself from some of the things that I do, trying to be the cameraman, the videographer,
Yes.
all of that stuff, and focus on what I do
That's right.
best. So now I know I need to start bringing an assistant with me. Hey, while I'm doing this private dinner engagement, I need you recording, I need you taking pictures, I need you getting testimonials
Right.
from the clients so that
Right.
these items can be placed on the website.
Absolutely. You'll get there. I have no doubt. And, in a year or so, I'll invite you back and we'll see how far you
I'm
come
here
because
for it.
I know it's going to happen. Can you join me in thanking my guests today?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Strategic Minds Making Money Moves. Remember, we use those strategies to do what? Get that green. See you next time.